Hello, everyone. Economic Ninja. Hope you're all doing well. Tens of thousands of vacation rentals are about to be shut down across the nation. These are places in highly desired vacation spots around the nation that are going to be shut down. I'm going to bring you one story out of Hawaii and explain the narrative they're using for that and what's going on over there. But it's not just happening in Hawaii, it's happening in Lake Tahoe. It's happening in some places in Florida, around the country. Very desirable areas that were bought up years ago for Airbnbs, VRBOs are going to be terminated by city councils. And city councilors are going to become more emboldened as people cry out for fair housing. And remember, and it, you have to remember that people are in a position right now, the ones that scream the loudest are the ones that didn't try the hardest. That's how life works. And there's a massive opportunity coming. And I want to open this discussion up so that you understand it and that you can see the opportunity and then go attack it when the time is right. All right. Another thing I want to say, I want to put a link to my real estate channel. I have just hired an editor that was laid off and needed some work. And I'm going to start putting high quality edited content on the real estate channel, teaching people how to be successful in real estate, how to make money in real estate. That's how I made my first grip of money. And then it moved on from there. And I honestly believe real estate is the number one, the easiest way to become a multimillionaire, not only because of appreciation, cash flow, things like that, but the tax benefits. Those are massive. All right. So I'll put that link down below if you don't mind checking it out. And the first video I'm going to share is on equity stripping and how important it is to know how to protect your home for a lot less money than paying an attorney. All right. So this story comes out of SF Gate. It says thousands of vacation rentals could be removed in Hawaii. Okay, we're going to substitute Hawaii for a lot of other places around the nation as the narrative. And it is a narrative that there's not enough affordable housing. What people don't realize is that there's not enough buyers out there. And the very few buyers that are running around because they're going, oh my gosh, I want a house because I'm going to freak out if I don't get a house because I'm going to miss out. That's such a small pool. It's now smaller than 2008. Okay. And they say the greasy wheel gets the oil. Well, or the squeaky wheel gets the oil, not the greasy wheel. Oh gosh. That's what happens when you go live. You forget half of what you know. That's what's happening right now. Okay, so let's look at this as an opportunity, not something that's bad. It says in early May, Hawaii Governor Josh Green signed historic legislation giving counties across the island more power to regulate and even phase out short-term rentals. The law marks a significant change in how rentals can be managed statewide in a move that is trying to put the needs of local communities ahead of vacation rental properties. It said here, it was an emergency proclamation. I'm going to fly through here. They were talking about the August 8 fires in Lahaina that destroyed over 2,500 structures and displaced nearly 13,000 people. As of June 10th, over 200 displaced families from the Lahaina fire, representing 558 individuals, were still in hotels. Since the bill was signed, officials on Maui and Oahu, Hawaii, I mispronounce that stuff all the time, sorry, have taken quick and rigorous action to create change. So, on Maui, Mayor Richard Bisson announced a proposal to phase out thousands of transient vacation rentals on a specific list. Named after the late Richard Minatoya County Attorney, the list comprises short-term rentals built before 1989, located in apartment districts, in specific areas. That's not what I want to get to. I want to get to this. It says here, and this is how they're going to demonize all of this. According to the data compiled by the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, there are 7,160 properties on the list, with 96% in West and South Maui. Most are owned by people out of state, with Californians managing 36.1 of those units. Hawaii residents own 14.9% of the properties, but addresses in Washington, Canada represent the next two largest group of the property owners. So they're going to go and they're going to attack the people that aren't Hawaiians. They want to focus on those people and say, they're bad people. They bought properties and they don't want to rent to us full time, right? This is where it gets good. And this is going to be the narrative for other places that have disasters or that are having a hard time with people finding affordable housing. All right. It says only 1 out of 17, which is 6%, of these short-term rental owners offered long-term leases to fire survivors despite incentives like a 12 to 18 month wildfire property tax exemption. So let me make this very clear. This is why the majority of those people did not offer long-term rentals. They did not buy those properties in a situation where a long-term would pencil out enough for them. End of story. That is it. The boom in Airbnb and VRBO purchases across the country happened in the last 7 years. Those properties were purchased based off of a certain cap rate. And then what happened is, and I know people personally that did this, even if they got an amazing financing deal on the first or second one, right? What happened is after a while, they had to start paying higher rates because it was evident what they were doing was a business and they had to pay the real rates to the banks. So the penciling out, it didn't pencil out to rent full time. And Airbnb properties, for a while there was such a boom in people using them, it was a no-brainer for people to do it. Well, then what happened is these Airbnb hosts, they didn't go buy just 1 or 2. They bought 10 or 20. They bought a ton and they got over leveraged. And so they have zero margin. Even if 1 or 2 pencils out, the rest don't. So they have to keep them as these short-term rentals. They're losing their butts if they don't put butts in the houses for a certain amount of days out of the year. Okay, this is something that I warned about a long time ago. And now what's happening is these city councilors are very emboldened because the loudest members of the public, those are the people that want something for nothing, right? They want a lot of stuff from the government and they don't want to put out a lot of stuff. They don't want to pay a lot in taxes. But what happens is they're a sort of a large voting base. And so the city council members know that if they appease them, they're going to get voted in that another term. It's absolutely disgusting. But here's where the biggest opportunity is. And again, I'm going to throw a shout out to my other channel. Please, if you could, go check it out. I put a link in the description and I'll pin one in the comments after this is done. It's one on equity stripping, but there's going to be really high quality edited content going out there to teach people about these cycles and how to go crush it. What's going to happen is we're already in a moment where inventory is exploding across the nation. Days on market are getting bigger and bigger, longer and longer. And there are more sellers than buyers. We're seeing seller concessions explode, okay? We have already crested the top of the housing bubble and we are now headed down. And the longer we wait, the faster it moves down because the more properties that hit the market. This is one group of properties, one type of properties, Airbnb properties, right? Like VRBO, Airbnb, whatever, all these different companies. They comprise a certain type of seller that's about to hit the market. And they're going to hit the market for 2 different reasons. One, because of counties like this or city governments demonizing them, like in Lake Tahoe, Hawaii, Florida, parts of Texas, right? These vacation areas, these places that you and I have always wanted to live in. But yeah, the prices are a little big. Well, it's about to get really exciting because these city councils are going to crush them. They're going to say, hey, you got to go to long-term now, rentals. And they're like, that's not going to pencil. We have to sell. They're going to force them to sell. The second reason they're going to sell is because the economy is weakening more and more by the day. Type 1 if you agree with that. Let's get some chatter going on here. And what's going to happen is they're going to be forced to sell because there are going to be fewer people taking out renting Airbnbs because the prices, they're not going to be able to compete with the hotels. You see, hotels can drop prices incredibly fast. I watched it in 2007, 2008 when I used to go down on vacation down in Southern California. Hotel prices were so cheap, it's crazy because nobody was vacationing. Well, Airbnbs can't compete with that. So what they're going to do is they're going to drop those prices even more. If this makes sense to you, type 2. And if you're getting ready for this, type 3. I want to see what you guys are doing because this is going to be a massive. We didn't have this type of situation in 2006 when I was liquidating all my properties. We didn't have a group of properties that were bought up, single family residents that were bought up to be little mini hotels. And this to me is so exciting because this time is so much bigger. It's so much worse, which means it's so much better. It's ripe for an opportunity. If you wouldn't mind, links down below to the equity stripping video on my other channel, The Real Estate Ninja. If you could hit the subscribe button over there and watch, there's going to be really good quality content that I'm taking a lot of time with to teach people free stuff, to teach people how to get ready for this crash, how to see it in a totally different light so that you can be ready for it and not sit on the sidelines. All right. Hey, type 5 if you're sick and tired of sitting on the sidelines and you want to be ready to rock and roll when this thing goes down. And it's already starting. This is nowhere near where we're going to be. You're going to be very happy with the outcome. All right. Sorry, I take a little doom and gloom and I turn it into we're going to go crush it news. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.